Today, we are digging into Chapter 2 of a really fascinating novel, Confessions of a Professional Conspiracy Theorist by Will Camden.
Right. And the central claim of this book is pretty unsettling. It argues that the whole idea of a global conspiracy, secret elites, the Illuminati, all of it, is actually a professionally managed PR campaign.
Exactly. And Chapter 2 is so critical because it's the bridge. In Chapter 1, we met our main character, Will Camden. He's a master of what's called the engineering of consent.
He can make people buy things they don't need, change national habits.
Yeah, he's a sort of puppet master of public opinion. And now, in this chapter, we see him moving both literally on a train and sort of psychologically. He's learning the exact tactics he'll need for the big project.
The book's argument is that this big project is actually necessary, that it's about selling comfort.
It's about selling a psychological comfort blanket. That's the term used. The idea is that the speed of the technological revolution is just overwhelming. It creates this deep anxiety.
So when the world gets confusing with, globalization, the internet,
Yeah.
things you can't see, people get scared.
And they need a simple answer, a villain. So instead of blaming, complex supply chains for your problems, you can just blame a secret group.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's comforting.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Quick catch-up from Chapter 1. Will is a top PR guy in late 90s London. We've seen him work his magic. We left him getting on the Eurostar, heading to a conference in Stockholm.
And as he's on that train, the chapter really gets inside his head. He's just looking out the window, watching the world change. And he realizes the very monuments of our world are shifting.
From the physical to the...
What, the digital?
From analog to code, yeah. And understanding that shift is key to understanding why people are so ready to believe in a manufactured story.
Okay, so let's start there with the monuments. He sees the Cologne Cathedral from the train, the Kölner Dom. Right. And his description is, it's incredible. He doesn't see a building. He calls it a geological event.
A geological event. What does that even mean?
It means it feels like it grew out of the earth. It's stone, it's gravity, it's permanence. It took centuries to build. When you look at it, you feel grounded, sane even. It makes you believe in solid things.
Solid things, okay. But his journey is taking him away from that. He ends up crossing the Öresund Bridge, which connects Denmark and Sweden.
And the contrast just couldn't be sharper. This bridge isn't a monument to God or to stone. It's a monument to, to human cleverness.
It's that amazing one that goes for miles and then just dives into the sea, right? Becomes a tunnel.
It becomes a tunnel. It literally disappears into a man-made island. It's like a magic trick.
And Will's take on this is that it's basically code, that it feels weightless, like a computer designed it to defy gravity, not something people built to fight against it.
And that's the insight. He calls it the coming strangeness. The new world is building these incredible things that don't feel real. They don't feel permanent like the cathedral did.
So when the physical world starts to feel abstract, people lose their anchor.
They lose their anchor, absolutely. And that feeling is driven home by this tiny little moment he has in Stockholm, in a quiet courtyard.
This isn't about a huge piece of architecture, is it?
No, not at all. It's the opposite. He sees a girl dancing, completely lost in her own world. And the music isn't coming from a big radio. It's coming from an MP man.
An MP3 player, one of the very first ones.
One of the first, a little box, no tape, no CD, no moving parts. And for Will, that is the quiet little omen of the coming strangeness.
Because music just became abstract. It's completely disconnected from a physical thing you can hold.
Exactly. And he sees how quickly technology is changing, not just our tools, but our behavior, our relationship with the world. And that creates a void.
A void. And a void is something a PR man knows how to fill.
A PR man's job is to fill a void. And that brings us right to the heart of Chapter 2. The case study, the Cornerstone Taverns.
Right. This is where he perfects the technique. His client is this huge company, Albion Breweries, and they have a big problem.
A very modern problem. People are sick of their generic, corporate, plastic theme pubs.
They want something real. They want authenticity. They want community. They're nostalgic.
So what does Will do? He doesn't give them real authenticity. That's messy and expensive. He decides to manufacture it.
He creates the Cornerstone Taverns collection.
And the level of detail here is it's breathtakingly cynical. He doesn't hire architects. He hires theater set designers.
People who create illusions for a living.
Their entire job is to build worlds that feel lived in but are completely fake. And they go to work, they lay down brand new, perfect floorboards,
And then ruin them.
and then spend days distressing them, scuffing them, scratching them, creating wear patterns to suggest, 100 years of happy customers.
They even had artists painting fake beer stains on the walls, fake smoke smudges.
And my favorite part, they invented backstories. Completely fictional, folksy landlords for each pub with made-up quotes about the importance of community on the menus.
Even though the real manager was just some guy in a cheap suit from corporate headquarters who got moved around every 6 months.
It's pure theater. But the final touch, the real genius of the scam, was the beer itself.
Oh, the craft ales.
People wanted to support small local breweries, so Albion Breweries created a bunch of fake ones. They brewed the beer in their massive industrial factories.
The most corporate, efficient way possible.
The most efficient way possible. But they put it in bottles with labels that look like they were drawn by hand in some guy's garage. Two Brothers Brewing or something.
Hang on, I have to stop you there.
Yeah.
So they were literally identifying a genuine human need, this desire for community and authenticity.
Yeah.
And then building a perfect, fake corporate replica of it to sell back to the very people whose sense of community they probably helped destroy in the first place.
That is the absolute definition of manufactured authenticity. And the result, it worked perfectly.
People loved these pubs.
They flocked to them. They felt like they were making a conscious choice, supporting their proper local. They'd sit there surrounded by the most cynical, calculated corporate stage set imaginable and feel this warm, authentic glow because they believed it was real.
And that experience gives Will his big insight, the lesson that changes everything for him.
It's the core idea of the chapter. He writes it down. You don't sell people a product. You find out what they feel they've lost. Community, authenticity, a sense of belonging, and you sell them a beautifully crafted, utterly fake version of it.
Wow. That's a dark thought. It's moving PR from just persuasion into something else entirely. Emotional replacement.
It's the training ground. You see how it all connects. The world becomes cold and abstract and monumentless, like the Öresund Bridge. That creates a psychological void. And Will has just proven he can fill that void.
In Chapter 1, he sold magic, and now in Chapter 2, he's mastered selling authenticity. He can literally engineer a feeling.
He can engineer belonging.
But surely there's a huge leap from selling a fake pub to selling a fake global conspiracy. I mean, the scale is just so different. Isn't that a bit of a stretch?
That's the exact leap his mind makes right at the end of the chapter. The scale is different, but the tactic, the core principle, is identical. The conspiracy theory is just the Cornerstone Tavern on a global scale.
Explain that.
Look, he arrives at his hotel in Stockholm for the conference. He's about to meet his colleague, Jez, and the thought crystallizes for him. If you can successfully sell a fake, authentic pub to fill a local need for belonging,
then you can sell a fake, authentic history of the world to fill a global need for answers.
you've got it. The secret elites, the hidden history. It's the ultimate, beautifully crafted, utterly fake version of reality. It's the psychological comfort blanket for the entire planet.
It's designed to fill that void left by the disappearing cathedral, by the MP3 player, by a world that feels like it's run by invisible code.
It gives you a story that gives the lonely and the confused a secret club to belong to. It gives them one convenient, tangible thing to blame for all their problems. It makes the strangeness feel manageable.
So the whole point of promoting the conspiracy isn't to hide a real secret. It's to provide a fake one that's more comforting than the chaotic, answerless truth.
That's the argument. A truly fascinating and, deeply disturbing end to the chapter.
Okay, so we followed Will's journey from engineering consent to manufacturing authenticity, from physical monuments to the psychological void.
Which leaves us with our final thought for you, our listeners, to take away. If the biggest challenge of our digital world is this feeling of loss, this strangeness created by a lack of solid anchors,
And if the most powerful strategists are experts at selling us fake versions of the very things we've lost,
then the question is, what common belief or system in your own life, something you see on your social media feed, or in the culture around you, might just be another beautifully crafted, utterly fake version of something real? What have you been sold as authentic that was really just manufactured to fill that same exact psychological void?
something to think about the next time you look at a centuries-old building, or maybe the next time you refresh your feed.